WWBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
I can't believe I'm putting my voice to this.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Thank you for your irrelevant opinion.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry.
The first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say. I'm a broadcast journalist. I have a right to my opinion.
Oh, son of a...
I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even in commentary.
The embitterment, the anger, the vim, the vigor, the vitriol, the vinegar, and the stuff that goes with it. It's very apropos because wrestling fans are feeling a lot of it following this past Sunday's Royal Rumble. The notable story coming out of the Royal Rumble, the anger and the vitriol of the crowd, I guess that's probably where to start with. I mean, they pretty much chanted for Daniel Bryan throughout numerous points of the pay-per-view. And if you take the crowd out of it and just looked at the match, it wasn't bad. It was completely overshadowed by the crowd. And then there was the Rumble match, which had everybody, myself included, hoping, all right, let's see what we've got as far as surprises. They were different surprises, but I kind of feel like, all told, a little underwhelming. That's probably the best word I can use to describe. To say the least, fans in general were not happy. Vince is probably too busy counting his money to hear the Daniel Bryan chants.
The WWE Universe may be displeased. The direction of the company, Wall Street, has a different view.
Vince is too busy counting his money to really care what you have to say about Daniel Bryan. Those are the sounds from 364 days ago. The more things change, the more they stay the same. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Joined as ever by a man who's here just so he doesn't get fined, Lucas the intern.
That's very kind of you.
And, of course, I'm your host, a man whose balls are never deflated, Fearon Derry.
Very good. Very good.
Hey, I got to get the Super Bowl puns out of the way.
That is true.
Man, so much to get into after a very, very long and interesting weekend and week in WWE being here in the area. I guess we'll go back to I don't know. Do we want to go chronologically? I guess. I mean, we can quickly gloss over. Yeah.
Save the best talking point for last.
Go chronologically and save the critique for a little bit later because there's going to be some critique. That's for sure. Well, we got to meet Chris Jericho. That was fun.
Very.
Thanks to Rob of RF Video for putting that together.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. He commented. He complimented me on my glasses and my leather jacket. Said it was very stylish. So it's a very nice.
Yeah, I am not nearly as stylish. But we'll get into that we'll get into some style points. Talk about that coming up in a little bit. Programming note also before we get too far here. We are on the air until 12:45 today due to high school basketball, Hamilton and Notre Dame. So definitely want to get in early if you're looking to come up on the phone lines here. Then we went to the JR show. That was hysterical.
That was like watching a stand-up comedy. It was a great show. Very fun. Got to meet Jim Ross before the show, and it was a lot of hilarity. Somebody got kicked out of the show, which is very.
Yeah, how do you get kicked out of a Jim Ross one-man show? I mean, you've got to be really
I don't think it was a one-man show because surprise appearance by...
Oh, this is true. Yeah, that's right.
Surprise appearance by J.J. Dillon.
Jim Ross did say on this very program that there would be surprises at the show, and one was, yes, in Hall of Fame manager and booker James J.J. Dillon, of course, the notable manager of the Four Horsemen.
That was a pretty cool surprise. I will give out about one thing that happened at the Jim Ross show. Everybody who went to the meet and greet got their own bottle, a signed bottle.
Oh, here we go.
JR's barbecue sauce. I put the bottle under my seat, and apparently during the show, somebody behind me or somebody, I don't know who, but somebody swiped the bottle from under my chair. It's a very classy thing to do, right? So we go up to Jim Ross after the show. I think.
I spurned got this process going, but I kind of, while you were, I don't know where exactly you were. I don't know if you were trying to look around in other spots for the bottle. I just went up, threw down $5, bought another bottle of JR's original barbecue sauce, and then had you go over and have you explain to Jim what happened, and he not only autographed the picture, or not only autographed the bottle, but also gave you an autographed picture on top of it. So
genuine class act.
Exactly.
He was thanking us for having him on the show, and we were thanking.
We're like, no, thank you for coming onto our program.
This made it an awesome weekend, and he really.
And then we went into the Wells Fargo Center.
We went into the belly of the beast.
I'm sorry. I'd be remiss if I didn't say we also had a lot of fun at the official tailgate party of the Royal Rumble, hosted by WBCB's own Dan Wing.
That was. I won $1 because of my best Vince McMahon power walk impression. I also did a little Shane O'Mac. I saw a couple guys going, "Oh my God!" It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
I was probably the only sober one there, but
I beg your pardon.
I apologize. I mean, look, alcohol wears off with time. You could have been not. You could have been
I
buzzed.
was driving, so I had to be.
You could have been a little bit buzzed in the parking lot. The pay-per-view was like 3-4 hours. Come on.
All of a sudden, you're an expert on levels of intoxication. With health class.
I know a lot of things. That's what I do as a broadcast journalist.
As a broadcast journalist intern, get it right.
Okay. You don't need to get all snippy with me, sir. You need me to get
the snippiness came from the Wells Fargo event staff. Let's get into that.
And to quote Joey Styles, we might get fired.
Well, no.
You might want to play the sounder now, actually. Yeah.
Which sounder?
Oh,
this one?
Yeah. All commentators heard on WBCB expressed their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
Yeah, I know. We're getting the disclaimer out of the way because, there were numerous issues. Now, I think we mentioned we were in a club box. There was a group of 20 of us. And there were just a lot of little issues that added up over the course of the night that literally made the pay-per-view ancillary. I had to, even though I was in attendance, I maybe saw about 40% of the pay-per-view because the rest of the time I was dealing with nonsense, dealing with the event staff. I'm trying not to make this too long of a thing, but I mean everything from just ushers trying to act like, big bad tough guys and accosting people for not being in the right seat when they were, to flagging somebody for alcohol who was still sober. I'm keeping names and specifics out of it.
I'm not going to mention names. The fact that one of our friends, he looks like he's my age when he doesn't have a beard. That some lady, they asked if he was drinking underage, and he had his card with him, but the bartender still flagged him. It was just.
Well, that was after his debit card went missing.
Yeah, but
it was just a litany of different things. Another guest of ours, his coat was stolen out of the.
And that's very ironic because security's walking up and down the aisles, trying to keep an eye and survey trouble, and then from under their nose, a Michael Kors coat gets taken with house keys and car keys in it. It's like
unbelievable.
How do you do that? Like, it's just very.
I don't know. It took away from the experience. It was a black mark on what was otherwise an awesome weekend. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, how about if we talk about the event itself? Holy smokes.
Look, I'm going to come out and say it right now. Am I mad? Am I upset? I'm not mad. Am I upset that Daniel Bryan didn't win the Rumble? Yes. Am I upset that am I, extremely pissed off and livid that Roman Reigns won? Not really. I mean, people are saying, I go up to people in school and they say, "Oh, that was the worst pay-per-view ever." That is not true.
That couldn't be further from the truth.
That the championship match was phenomenal.
That was worth the price of the pay-per-view alone. Granted that the price is now $9.99.
Yeah. Seeing the New Age Outlaws, that was great. Like a whole match, it was just the whole night was a pop. The only time the pay-per-view started to suck for most people was when Daniel
New Day came out. Oh.
No, when Daniel Bryan got eliminated. That was right at the beginning of the pay-per-view. That match.
Well, and members of the New Day also were in the Rumble, and you could have heard. I mean, it was the sounds of silence.
And why are they booing? Why do they hate the New Day though? It's not their fault they got the gimmick. They're just trying not to get fired. They're literally clinging on to their jobs for dear life.
Exactly. They're just there so they don't get fired to take from Marshawn. Well, yeah, to parody Marshawn Lynch.
And it's just the fact that, look, if you even had half a brain, you would have comprehended what had happened in the in the championship match. Brock Lesnar threw John Cena and Seth Rollins around like a rag doll. The fact that, you know, they're building him up to be some sort of monster, like the ultimate Goliath. Who, you really think Daniel Bryan, for once WWE's trying to be realistic, you really think Daniel Bryan, the man who knows a lot of holds, it doesn't matter when you're getting punched in the mouth.
I know. Comparing Daniel Bryan to Brock Lesnar in terms of size and competitive, it'd be like putting a first grader in a fight against a high school senior.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm not denying that it wouldn't be a great match. It would be an awesome match. It would be a lot of technical wrestling, a lot of Daniel Bryan getting thrown around like a rag doll. That would be an amazing match. But the reason they're making Roman Reigns is to make like a Superman Doomsday fight. Look, I don't have a problem that Roman Reigns is getting a push. Do I think he's ready? No. That is definitely, he is not ready for this push. But like him and Cena.
See, I don't ask my audience what they want. I tell them what they want. I tell them what they want, and then they like it.
Well, you were with us until that very last bit there, Vince.
Well, here's the thing, Vince. You will apologize, and you will like it. To quote another person that apparently internet smarks hate right now, CM Punk.
I don't think that necessarily is happening.
I'm just a little bit upset with wrestling fans in general, because look, I'm a huge wrestling fan, but the internet fans, a year ago, and I'm not talking to one single person who says they didn't like Roman Reigns. The majority of people that were watching thought Roman Reigns was an absolute monster. He was the man. And now, once he gets voted Superstar of the Year, and Vince, it's not like an organic push, then people
the rocket got strapped to him, and people immediately just checked out.
Like, are you guys ever going to be pleased? Because, to be honest, people wanted Brock Lesnar, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan to win the Rumble. Would I like to see Dolph? I would love to see Dolph.
Oh, did someone not get what they wanted? Oh, that's too bad.
You're just pulling them out like left and right now.
Well, hey, we only have a 45-minute show. I got to get them all in.
I'm very ornery with people that are saying, "Oh, I never liked Roman Reigns." Yes, you did, because you were cheering him last year.
You believed in the Shield. You had your Shield T-shirts and your Sierra Hotel.
Yeah,
India Echo,
and the
Lima
fact
Delta,
that
and all that nonsense.
Like, you think that Roman Reigns isn't ready, but Dean Ambrose is. That's another thing. Like, I want Dean Ambrose to succeed, yes, but I don't think he's ready either. The fact that, like, I'm even having a little bit of doubt about Seth Rollins. With him,
see, Seth Rollins, he gets my most improved award.
That he does.
He has grown leaps and bounds.
He does. And he should definitely have Money in the Bank, but I don't think he's ready for, like, an amazing title run.
Which is why he hasn't gotten it yet.
Exactly. The reason they're strapping it, like, and it's also the fact that people are booing, you know, it seems to me that wrestling fans are cheering the part-timers and booing the workhorses, and not Dolph Ziggler. I mean, like, you guys, the main eventers, like, you guys cheer The Rock when he comes back, even though and I'm not knocking The Rock, but he's only come back a couple of times. He's main evented WrestleMania twice, only maybe doing 2 or 3 matches in between.
And like 7 or 8 movies.
Yeah, and you guys, you guys cheer for, I guess you guys, we were all cheering for Brock Lesnar on Sunday. That was another thing. But then the top guys like Cena and, and Batista got booed. And Batista, he shouldn't have won the Rumble, but at least every single night when he was under contract, he was working on the Raws, the SmackDowns. Heck, I think he even did a couple of main events. You guys are going to boo them, and the whole thing, Cena only has 5 moves. The Rock only has, like, 5 moves, too.
Man, you're just...
I just don't get it. I'm tired.
Ornery today.
And I'm not being like... I'm just making a point. Stone Cold only has... In fact, Stone Cold used to be a great technical wrestler, but that's not really his moveset anymore.
Yeah, when you get into a main event slot, you do have to simplify your moveset to a considerable degree just to avoid wear and tear, because if you're going to be a main guy, you want to try to prevent injury as much as possible.
The only main event guys I can think of that really do use a lot of moves are Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, and they had a couple of injuries. And I mean, like,
look at Seth Rollins. It's always great when you pull out a move that you don't expect, because it pops the crowd that much more.
Heck,
look at when Rollins hit that Phoenix Splash. Everybody was wowed because that was something that they hadn't seen from him in a while, if at all.
Yeah, and the fact that
Cena with the Hurricane Rana, same thing.
They were cheering Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, all he really did was German suplex the guys last night, which he threw them around like ragdolls. And he was literally just beating people down. That's the 5 moves of doom thing. That they have no moves is really an absolute, like, crappy argument. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm tired of people saying the 5 moves of doom, because half these main eventers only, like, even Hogan.
Oh, I know. I could put on any Hogan match, and I could pretty much telegraph the end if he's going to win, and pretty much call it nonstop. But that being said, I mean, I think credit needs to go out, and I think it's been kind of swept under the rug with everything. Speaking of workhorses, how about Bray Wyatt as the Iron Man?
Oh, yeah. He
was in there for just under 47 minutes of the 59-minute and 10-second Rumble.
Yeah.
That's more than 80% of the time he was in the ring.
He was the one to throw out Daniel Bryan and Bubba, the surprises.
Yes, Bubba Ray Dudley. That was a great way to pop the Philly crowd. I know a lot of people were kind of pushing for the Blue Meanie to be in there, but I think Bubba Ray, especially after his main event run in TNA, I think that was if you could only get one, that was probably the better get.
Yeah.
The Boogeyman. Now we didn't see this we didn't hear this on commentary because we were there live, but I think they really they brought him in to have that face-to-face between the Eater of Worlds and the Eater of Worms. They brought him in for a one-liner.
But still, that's like...
Which is why he was only in for 47 seconds.
I thought that was great, though, because you had, like, really creepy character versus really creepy character. The amount of weirdness... And the crowd popped for Boogeyman, too. That was a very good pop.
Yeah, no, it was better than I'd expected in that regard. And inhale into Cobra, exhale into Down Dog, DDP making an appearance.
I literally was getting up to go... Okay, I shouldn't have...
Yeah, all right. You were heading up to go to the concessions, yeah.
I was actually heading up to go to the bathroom, and I was about... Look...
I was trying to cover for you, but go on.
You don't have to cover for me. I'm not going to get into graphic detail. I walked through the door, and then I heard, "Yo, it's me, it's DDP," and it was like a bit from Family Guy. You walked in, then you walk back out, and you're like, "What?"
Tell me I didn't just see that?
And I saw DDP come out. I'm like, "Oh my God, Fearon must be flipping out." I was in the bathroom there where I got the text that Daniel Bryan got eliminated, and I was just like, "You're joking, right?"
No, that was definitely no joke.
I was standing, and Fearon can even vouch, I was standing in the aisle for like 15 seconds, just like with the look.
Soaking it in. Just
the look on my face, just...
The Undertaker streak-ending face. Okay, maybe it wasn't that detailed, but...
It was just a disbelief.
Yeah, I don't think your eyes can get that bug-eyed.
Yeah.
Plus the glasses hide a little bit of it, too.
Yeah.
But no, all in all, I don't think it was a bad pay-per-view. I think my personal experience was soured due to other extraneous issues. But that, of course, led into what we'll get into on the other side. Juno. Winter Storm Juno. And the forced kind of restructuring of Raw.
Oh, Winter Storm Juno. That's what they called it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're at the point now where kind of like hurricanes, they name winter storms, starting A through alphabetically and all that.
Well.
Yeah. So apparently this is the 10th one. I'm by no means a meteorologist, nor am I going to pretend to be.
That's really...
So I'll get up on my weather terms. Apparently JBL did a decent job of it on Raw. But we'll talk about that on the other side. We've got some interesting news. Oh, we haven't even gotten into the top Twitter trend. We'll talk about that. A WWE Network milestone, as well as How did Mick Foley do in the Wing Bowl? We'll talk about that and a bunch more. And Ed, hang on. We'll get to you right on the other side. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, January 31. On this date in 2000, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. In the main event, Jeff Jarrett and the Harris Twins defeated Ric Flair, Sid Vicious, and Terry Funk in a six-man tag team match. On this date in 2005, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from San Jose, California. In the main event, Kane pinned Gene Snitsky in a steel cage match. On this date in 2000, WWE held its Royal Rumble pay-per-view. In the main event, Edge won the 30-man Royal Rumble match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, January 31.
You are listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Dairy.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Brought to you today by Theraflu. At least it feels that way. Holy smokes, the state of my voice in that. It's okay. You can. Yeah, I was gonna say you can rip me.
Why don't we get into some news and notes?
Well, before we do that, why don't we get Ed, who's been hanging on for quite a while. Let's go ahead and bring Ed up here. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon. Cold enough for you?
It's way too cold. I am not a fan of this.
How cold is it?
Right now, probably about 25. See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
All right, what's on your mind, Ed?
All right. Happy Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, the big
Super
game
Bowl
tomorrow.
Weekend. Super Bowl weekend.
But how can you ever be happy with Deflategate?
Hello?
What was that, Ed? Lucas was talking over you.
Larry Winters passed away from one of the ECW originals.
Oh yeah, I had that in my news and notes. I was going to talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, from the early days of ECW, Larry Winters, independent wrestler and trainer. He unfortunately died this past Tuesday of a heart attack. There have been lots of memories shared. I can't say that I've ever personally met him. That was a little before. I was knee high to a grasshopper when he was doing his thing. So it's.
I think he was in his 50s.
Yeah, I was going to say, I couldn't find really an age anywhere given regarding that.
And ZCW is coming back to Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena February 21st.
Oh, wow, that's going to be a jam-packed weekend.
It's a doubleheader starting at 4.
3 weeks from now, I think that is, yep.
And On Point is next weekend.
Oh, yeah, over in Williamstown, New Jersey, On Point Wrestling. Matt Tremont's deal.
And in Norristown, they'll have a National Pro Wrestling Day at 2 p.m. bell time.
Oh, that's right. This is around the time of year where they celebrate National Pro Wrestling Day. Holy smokes.
And did you hear about the Zombie?
Yeah, I heard about the Zombie a few weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you mentioned that.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I mean, there's been so much that's been going on.
And that's about it.
All righty, look at the...
Impact is on every Friday, too.
Ah, yes, on Destination America, and you don't even need to pay $9.99 for it. All right,
Friday night. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks so much for the call, Ed. Appreciate the look at the local scene, as always. We're actually going to be going a little beyond the local scene. We're going to be driving north, Miss Tessmacher, to Rahway, New Jersey for Pro Wrestling Syndicate Frozen Fallout that's going on. That's at the Rahway Rec Center, 275 East Milton Avenue up in Rahway, New Jersey. Tickets are available at the door for $20. Now, I'm not familiar with the local talent. This is my first time there, but there's a considerable amount of talent you'd recognize, including a dream fight between John Hennigan, formerly known as John Morrison, against Sabu.
That's going to be a good one. That's definitely going to be a good one.
Also, Amazing Red defends his strap in a PWS Suicidal 6-way title match against Brian XL. CPA, Bobby Wayward, the Drunken Swashbuckler, and here's a news flash, recently released from WWE, Darewolf PJ Black, whom you might remember as Justin Gabriel.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going to be on the card. There's also a 30-man on-the-spot title shot Rumble match. That's an easy phrase to say. And appearances by wrestling legends Ricky Steamboat, Larry Zbyszko, the living legend, Raven, and New Jack. As well as former divas, this is up your alley, Ashley Massaro. Oh, yeah, I didn't tell you about that one, did I? Calm yourself. And Katarina Lee, formerly known as Katie Lee Burchill in WWE and Winter in TNA.
Nice.
For more information...
That sounded creepy. I apologize.
If I had $1 for every time you said that on this show. For more information, go to bedofnails.com. That's bedofnails with a Z.com. I don't know. You might see us there. Who knows? Though since you're already in that mind frame, I guess we can talk about a WWE superstar that was seen at an adult entertainment convention. That's right. Prior to the Rumble weekend, WWE wrestler Dolph Ziggler and Foreman Roberts were spotted at the AVN porn convention in Las Vegas.
He's showing off something, I'm guessing.
Wow. Val Venus was nowhere to be found, though. No? Okay. Nah,
I think he's in Arizona right now.
Oh, true. Yeah, his career, I guess, has gone up in smoke. No? Okay. Wow, I am awful with the puns today.
No, I thought it was funny. I just got a little chuckle.
So, yes, we talked about the disappointment with the Rumble, the top Twitter trend. WWE fans were not happy about Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble, part of Vince's I'll tell you who you like mentality, because I played the clip earlier. Embittered fans took to Twitter to get hashtag cancel WWE Network to trend. And at one point Sunday night, it was the top trend on Twitter. Something tells me WWE won't be putting that in one of their Did You Know segments. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Oh, no, that's the old theme. But in kind of a... I guess the best way I can describe it is a stone-cold salute to the fans who 30 hours prior got it trending on Twitter. WWE Network announced on Tuesday that WWE Network surpassed 1 million subscribers.
I don't think they know what cancel means.
No. Or it's probably one of those deals, they're getting ready to click the cancel button and, oh, but I still have that episode of Tuesday Night Titans I have to see. Okay, I don't know.
I need some Funyuns.
I'm getting letters. Following the announcement, WWE stock shot up roughly $2 a share from about $10.50 to about $12.50 per share. It has leveled off a bit since then, ending the week at $12.11 a share. So, yeah, nice big old stone cold salute to the canceled WWE Network people. Speaking of Stone Cold, he's doing another WWE Network interview podcast. That's right. He's going to be interviewing Triple H. Live on the WWE Network this Monday, February 2nd, Groundhog's Day.
Following Raw.
Kind of like the Vince McMahon one from a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. Will it seem like the same day over and over and over again as Triple H is interviewed on Groundhog Day?
Phil Connors, you know.
Exactly. Yay, I made a movie reference.
Yay, I got the movie reference. Yay.
Speaking of movies, a movie star is he's going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame in the celebrity wing. That's right, WWE announcing that Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get to the chopper.
But we have the rest of the show.
Yeah,
will be inducted into the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame. He'll be joining Macho Man Randy Savage. Already, this is looking pretty. I don't know. I'm still, as far as celebrities go. Where's Cyndi Lauper? Why? I mean, when you look at, I don't know.
Arnold was, a guest host on Raw when they were doing that sort of thing? I mean, Cyndi Lauper was like the cornerstone of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. I think as far as significance, and I know I'm overly legitimizing the Hall of Fame. In fact, I'm kind of curious of your take on this. I actually saw an article on the former host of this program, Eric Gargiulo's blog, camelclutchblog.com. Go ahead and check it out. Talking about possibly putting the Hall of Fame to bed in a few years. Just like kind of putting it on ice, kind of like what they did from 97 through 2003.
So, wait, what?
Just kind of omitting the Hall of Fame inductions after a couple of years from now, because realistically there's maybe another, 17, 18 names that are pretty glaring omissions, and then after that, the pool's kind of running dry.
Wow.
That's kind of, so, and they usually induct, 7 a year? So they'll burn through that in the next 3 years.
Probably.
I mean, if you also presume by then that, let's say, Undertaker hangs it up, he's a Hall of Famer. Kane hangs it up, he's a Hall of Famer. Triple H is an executive, he becomes, he's a Hall of Famer. Or maybe Vince McMahon Sr. I mean, there's some notable names to say the least.
Definitely.
I don't know. It's a thought. Also, let's see here. We mentioned Winter Storm Juno blasting the New England area. Raw having to emanate from the WWE studios in Stamford, Connecticut. Raw was supposed to be at the XL Center in Hartford, but was postponed to Thursday for a live SmackDown. Of note, WWE aired the Royal Rumble match and the Triple Threat WWE World Heavyweight Championship match from the night prior on Raw. Also, I feel like I keep jumping back to the network news, but WWE Network available for free in February for new subscribers. WWE announcing that WWE Network will be available for free for new subscribers in the month of February. The advertising hyping that WWE Fastlane and the Steve Austin interview with Triple H are included in the free month. The sign-up period for the free month begins tomorrow, which makes sense because tomorrow would be February 1st, wouldn't it?
All right, bye.
We're getting some information here. Lucas, what do you got for us here?
So we are allowed to now go until 12:55 at the latest.
Oh, we got an extension. Okay. Woohoo. That's, I guess the philosopher is going to be calling the game or engineering the game, something like that. Chris Ermer.
Maybe.
Full of glory and renown.
Shining in his Morning gown.
Something like that. So, so even though you're not a new subscribers getting WWE Network for free for the month of February, a free February promotion.
So that's just like November, right? Survivor Series, yeah.
Yep, they're advertising Fastlane. They're advertising the Austin Triple H interview. Surprisingly, they're not advertising the NXT TakeOver special on February 11th.
On the network?
Yeah. Well, they're not advertising it as part of the, hey, get February for free, and you also get this.
When's the next? What's it going to be called this time? What's?
I have no idea.
Is it? I'm hoping it's Kevin Steen versus Sami Zayn. Or Kevin Owens. My bad.
I know. Old habits die hard. Old habits definitely die hard. All right, let's go to the. Oh man, the Facebook feedback is already just. Is going nuts here. You mean John from Northeast Philly, who's celebrating a birthday, in fact. Happy birthday to John. You mean to tell me that Wells Fargo had some people there who didn't know what they were doing? What is this, the Bank of America Center? Oh, that's not right. That's funny, but it's not right. He also adds, when Bryan got eliminated, people began to revolt, but for me, I feel that in the end, the fans got upset because Bryan didn't win simply because of the circumstances of how he lost the title in the first place.
That is true.
In this situation, it's best to remember sometimes you can't always get what you want. Booing Reigns wasn't the best thing to do considering it was not his final call as to who was eliminated when and by who. So it pretty much goes back to this.
Oh, did someone not get what they wanted? Oh, that's too bad.
That also works for when I have to cough and I need like a couple of seconds to recompose myself. It's a brilliant thing. Just so you don't hear me hacking up a lung on the air. It's a brilliant, brilliant thing. Eric from the Minnesota Wrecking Crew chiming in. I boo John Cena because he's been shoved down our throats for 10 plus years and his character barely changed over the years, if at all. I respect all that he's done in the ring. I want someone new in the main event. I was disappointed that Bryan didn't win, but I won't boo Reigns because he's someone new and I want to see what creative has for our current road to WrestleMania.
That is a very good point. You know, I understand the whole shove down our throats thing, but I don't understand that it's not really his call whether or not he gets. It's ultimately Vince McMahon's final word. I'm not like I do agree he should at least be put in the main event of like the crappier pay-per-views, or not the crappier, but like the B-list pay-per-views. But you need somebody for right now. I mean, what I'm wondering is what he's going to do at I know he's going up against Rusev. I'm trying to figure out just after Bryan losing the Rumble and all that, we know Reigns and Lesnar is set for WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler is a possibility. Where do the rest of the cards fall? I mean, that's
an excellent question. Where does Zack Ryder fit in?
It's the granddaddy of them all. Apparently, there's been talk of like The Rock coming back for WrestleMania. You know, who can what about Bray Wyatt? What about Dean Ambrose? Those guys, where do they fall? Where do those cards go? Seth Rollins too. Like, where does he?
Yeah, fortunately WWE has time. I mean, they still have another 3 weeks until Fastlane, and then another, I think, 5 weeks after that until WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So they have time on their side to be able to develop those things. Now, if they do what they've done leading up to the Rumble, which is in that 6-week gap between TLC and the Rumble, do 4 weeks of comedy, and then all of a sudden the last 2 weeks go, oh, we should probably get serious now.
Yeah.
That won't go over well.
That will not go over well.
Definitely will not. Alrighty, so yeah, we're in a bit of extra time here. I feel like we're back in the World Cup or something. John chiming back in. Was that Today in Wrestling History segment recorded during a hostage situation? Man, making fun of a brother because he has a cold. I could have just scrapped the show, but I tough it out. I'm a gamer.
True. Very true. Speaking of games, I was playing WWE against my brother last night on the Xbox One. That's a thing. My brother Rocco, he also was in attendance with us at the Rumble. He's not a huge wrestling fan. I mean, he popped major for The Rock because that was his youth. Yeah. He used to watch wrestling like briefly during like when it was Rock, Austin, Goldberg. So maybe like
like 2003.
Maybe I think it was more of like he might have watched WCW too, like.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, all those names you were mentioning were around in 2003. That's why I thought.
True. His boy is Randy Orton. That's like his top 3 favorite. I think are Randy Orton, The Undertaker, and so we always play each other in WWE, and it's always a fun time because it actually we put on better matches than some of the matches you'll see on Raw, just countering everything.
I can see how Orton and your brother have some things in common.
Okay, where are you going with this?
I'll tell you after the show.
No. I mean, is it because Rocco can be a little bit of
a Richard?
Yeah.
As Ken Orton?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a good thing he's not listening to the show right now because
I'm sure word will get back to him.
Oh, yeah.
He'll have something unsavory to say to me, almost as unsavory as I had to the usher at the Wells
Rocco and Fearon like to joke around with each other all the time. It's always a fun time.
Oh, yes. Good times had by all.
I will say he's gotten more into wrestling than when I started with the show than when it was before. So, back to you, Fearon.
That's a good thing. Brotherly bonding.
Yay.
So another good time, I guess, had by all, the wing ball. I wanted nothing to do with it, but Mick Foley did. He was a competitor, and he was DQ'd. Do you hear about this?
I did read the story, I believe.
Yeah, Mick Foley disqualified at yesterday morning's Wing Bowl 23 event. He was caught attempting to stash some of the chicken wings he was supposed to be eating in his fanny pack.
I feel like that was a little bit of a work.
Oh, it most definitely was. It gave him a chance afterward to be interviewed by the hosts, and of course he dropped in a cheap pop of right here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But, yeah, well, first of all, who carries around a fanny pack anymore?
It's not like it's a bad thing to have a fanny pack.
I know. I mean, when I think fanny pack, I think of either my dad back in the 90s or that picture of The Rock from the 90s.
Or what about the picture of the Hart family all wearing fanny packs?
I don't think I saw that one.
I think there was a picture, I believe. It was an awesome picture.
Was it also from the 90s?
Maybe the 80s.
Notice the theme here.
Maybe
it was acceptable
80s.
in the 90s.
And then the 80s as well.
And in the 80s as well. Oh, Jay Hunter. I should thank Jay Hunter, by the way, for that Vince McMahon clip. We'll tell you what you like.
We brought a winner as you signed to the Rumble, and he tweeted back and retweeted, and it was great.
It was good times. Now, for those who actually care about the wing eating competition, the contest was won by competitive eater Patrick Deep Dish Bertoletti. I know. I'll give you a second to soak that name in.
Let me guess. Pushing 300, maybe?
No, he went neck and neck with last year's winner, Molly Schuyler, 444 wings to 440. She had 440. He had 444 in 26 minutes. Yeah, do the math. Yeah. That's an average of 17 wings a minute, or roughly a wing every 3.5 seconds. Oh, goodness. All right, well, we've got a few minutes here. I think we're getting the call from the philosopher Chris Ermer. We're going to take our way over to high school basketball.
Wait.
Oh,
sorry.
waiting. Oh, okay. Things changing minute by minute here.
You're saying we can go until 1 o'clock?
We're being extended until 1 o'clock.
Network news at the top of the hour.
Oh, network news at the top of the hour. Okay, we're going the full hour.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, so we'll take it out to you. High school basketball action, Hamilton and Notre Dame at 1:05 for those of you looking to tune in for that after the USA radio news. Yeah, extensions are great. It's just when you don't exactly
for like 45 minutes.
Well, no, I mean, there's still plenty to talk about. We haven't even gotten into SmackDown. We still have birthdays.
True.
That's right. We still have birthdays, which there's only one notable one for today. From 1966, Jorge Gonzalez was born. Name ring a bell at all?
Maybe, I think.
Giant Gonzalez and also El Gigante in WCW. Very good.
I got it right?
Yeah.
That's
yeah, unfortunately.
I can think of when it comes to Gonzalez and wrestling.
I forgot to turn your microphone back on after.
Yeah, I guessed Giant Gonzalez, and I said that's really the only. I was thinking back to wrestlers I've heard of named Gonzalez in that league, because I can't really. I don't know if they had any just cover names, so I just thought Giant Gonzalez.
I'm sure you're going through your Rolodex in your head, all right, there weren't any Gonzalez's in the Mexicools.
I don't even remember who the Mexicools are, to be honest.
Oh, that was an awful gimmick from SmackDown. I want to say 05, 06.
Wasn't it? Weren't there?
It was Juventud Guerrera and who the deuce were the other two? But I want to say they rode either a golf cart or a lawnmower.
Oh yeah, I think I do remember the Mexicools now. They were Super Crazy and Psychosis.
There you go. Thank you. I was drawing a blank for some reason.
They rode riding mowers into the ring.
Riding mowers. That's what it was. That's
wow.
I was confusing them with Kerwin White, who rode the golf cart into. Oh gosh, the state of that gimmick.
I do.
Well, the state of that slogan with it. Do you remember the slogan?
I don't.
For Kerwin White, Chavo Guerrero.
Oh, if it ain't white, it ain't right.
That's the one. The state of it. That was awful.
There was also, remember that, I think it was a tag team group, Los Conquistadors, that they had Edge and Christian,
yep.
I guess. Yeah, all in gold. Ole! That was a very, I wouldn't say entertaining, but that's just one of those bits that
Los
sticks with you forever.
Conquistadores, yep. Oh, goodness.
It's a very... It's SmackDown, though. You're talking about SmackDown. That was a very, very interesting show. Especially
because it was live.
Well, yeah, live.
That's right. It was all the way live.
Snowmageddon in Hartford, Connecticut comes to you live. That was a very fun thing. The one thing I noticed, it was the tag team match. Tyson Kidd versus Jey Uso.
Yeah, it looks like they're setting up for a program between the Usos and Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
But I'm thinking that Tyson Kidd and Cesaro might be the next tag champions. I mean, they put this team together for a reason. I mean, they're two great competitors. Tyson Kidd gets a lot of crap, and he gets the Natty's husband chant. He really gets a lot of dead silence when he comes out. He's actually a great wrestler.
Well, I mean, you can see that for a lot of guys. I mean, how many... Well, I don't know. I guess... all right, I need to ask this from the Rumble. Your take on R-Truth. Well, first of all, him coming out and doing the whole what's up thing.
I thought it was pretty cool. I haven't heard it in a while, so I thought it was a little bit refreshing.
So it was refreshing. And then... him playing the role of essentially Devon Jr.
That was great.
With Bubba Ray Dudley.
He hits him and goes, "Get the tables!" He did he even did the what up drop. That was
the what's up headbutt. Okay. Again, when you're doing a cameo like that, you kind of have to play all the hits, kind of like the Outlaws did earlier in the night.
There was a thing that I don't know how, it's probably just a rumor, but there's a rumor going. I mean, it's probably just that, a rumor, but they're saying that Bubba Ray may be coming back for a little stint with WWE, and that Devon's going to be a trainer with WWE.
Well, I think the holding point is, I think WWE wants them both back as a tag team, but I think Devon wants to spend a little more time at home with the family.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. I mean, he wouldn't be the first person to do that.
Maybe you could have R-Truth and Bubba Ray Dudley, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. R-Truth is another great talent. That would be a fun thing to see, as long as he does not the what's up gimmick, but does more of the Dudleys thing. I'm just wondering what's that gonna, if they get signed by WWE, does that mean they're not gonna be at House of Hardcore?
Well, I'm pretty sure that WWE would allow them to complete whatever already pre-signed commitments they have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a good faith thing. It's not, all right, you're with us, now cancel all these things that you already agreed to.
Yeah. That would be very Richard-ish of them.
So that's why you probably wouldn't see it until after WrestleMania, for example.
That would be pretty cool, though, to see, that he got an awesome pop at the Rumble.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the negativity, we mentioned Bray Wyatt being a workhorse, for example. Rusev as well. He was in there for 35 minutes.
Yeah, the whole thing. People cheered.
But Dolph Ziggler, 2 minutes and 19 seconds. People were annoyed about that.
Ziggler, there was a thing about...
Cesaro, under 5 minutes. Bad News Barrett, just over 5 minutes.
Apparently after the Rumble... Dolph Ziggler and fans either were being not at all classy or being classy, chanting at the wrestlers in their cars, and apparently they were chanting "You got screwed" at Ziggler, and he just looked a little bit annoyed from it. It's what do you expect? I mean, he's in there with Kane and the Big Show. Obviously, Roman Reigns is we all knew it. It was either going to be Reigns or Bryan.
Yeah, and I think that, I hate to say it, that's kind of a fundamental flaw with the Rumble, that I have a hunch that if it isn't addressed or rectified in the next couple of years, the Rumble may be looked at in a similar fashion to Survivor Series, where really the only reason it's there is because of tradition, and it's not something that people look forward to, because there's usually 1, 2, maybe 3 potential clear winners, and the other 27, 28, 29 names are inconsequential.
Well, I think it's also because it's now with like a main event stipulation. Now, like you go to the main event of WrestleMania, it's not even a title match. Like you're now headlining WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean they've had that in place though for the last 22 years.
Yeah, but really main eventing, like now, I think within the last couple of years, it's been that they're headlining. Like even you look at Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio when they were on the Rumble, they were like the curtain jerker match for WrestleMania 27 and 28. The winner of the Rumble now, like, basically headlines WrestleMania. You're the main event match.
Well, that's because they merged the titles.
Yeah.
So you don't have we have 2 title matches. All right, let's put one at the very beginning of the show and one at the end of the show.
But then why wouldn't you put the one with the Rumble and at the end of the show? Like,
because it usually involves the World Heavyweight Champion, and Vince always saw that as inferior to the WWE Heavyweight Championship. I mean, remember, it's...
See, I don't ask my audience what they want. I tell them what they want. I tell them what they want, and then they like it.
Things changing minute by minute again. All right, so we're with you for another 2 minutes, and then we're going to take you to high school basketball. We're holding off on the news, so we'll go right to Chris Ermer in a couple of minutes. I also want to thank everybody out there because I quickly forgot this, just because there's been so much going on. I appreciate all of your feedback from the Paige and Jim Ross interviews from last week. I finally got that up. In case you missed it, I have it up on the WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly YouTube page. You can go ahead and listen to that. That was my 274th episode. So that means this is 275.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Craziness. We're a couple of weeks away from 16 years that this program has been on the air. Surprisingly, considering I've been at the helm for almost 6 of those. No, I'm.
It's good to see that I'm a part of some history. I got to be a part of the 15th or 15th annual.
Oh yeah, no, that was a fun show.
That was. I would shut up for half that show, though. I should have let you talk a little bit more.
But would you really have it any other way?
I think with my parents grilling me by texting saying, let Ron talk, I think I'd rather have it a little. I'd like to have the show. I just wish I would have, zipped it up a little bit.
It's part of the growing and maturing process. Believe me, not everybody hops on the mic and the first thing they are immediately a pro. I mean,
yeah.
Listen to me
I kept
for crying out loud.
all the time. My first episode here, like this,
I still have crutches.
Yeah.
And I'm sure most people will be glad to point them out. I'm sure I'll see them on the Facebook fan page coming up fairly shortly. But that's going to do it for us. Now we're on the road to WrestleMania and approaching the fast lane in a few weeks. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB.